the bomb only playlist. So I mean, I personally, that's always my first pick to go to in ranked. Obviously, you don't really play it in comp too much. It's one of those insta bans a lot of the times by a lot of teams.
Yep.
So, like I said, it's one of my favorites.
Looks like we are getting into this match now. Definitely excited to see how these bans play out and what we're going to be seeing from Raid on the defense and how we're going to be seeing Swade try to get through them.
So as you see, the first ban going down here is Thatcher, which is a pretty usual ban for the attack side of things on pretty much ranked and comp. As he takes away a lot of your Jaegers, Wamais, a lot of your utility to defend against flashes, smokes, grenades. Takes a lot of stuff away and keeps that wall denial up for your team. So it's always a good idea to get rid of Thatcher.
Second ban being Capital. Also a really strong operator on certain sites on Clubhouse, I believe. He can be a big nuisance, especially when trying to defend CCTV. I mean, it's as simple. If they don't bring a Wamai, you can just go to CC radio window or CCTV window and just shoot a firebolt at the top of the wall, and you pull whoever off, pull that bandit off that wall, or if Kaid's trying to trick, and it's free wall pretty much after that.
Same even with the breaking out the top right corner of that right garage door and getting the Capital up there into the wall as well. So that's a great pick out of. And you see Echo being banned as he is no longer soft banned at NACL. So, I mean, Echo's Echo. I don't think he really needs much more explaining as to why he's being taken off the board. Gives you so much, late plant denial, 1v1. Echo's still on the board. You're not going to get that plant down.
Looks like Mira's the last ban for, pretty standard, I would say, defensive, meta bans. So
I still find it funny that neither of the three that we said was going to get banned got banned.
I know. Yeah, a little sad, honestly. I really enjoyed seeing the Wamai and the Jaeger bans. It really does. I think it shakes up the way that defense is played a lot.
And they immediately go with a Valkyrie. So that would have thrown a monkey wrench in their strat here, along with Cade, Maestro, Smoke, and Jaeger. You see attack coming with the pretty much basic setup here. You usually see Maverick banned quite often here on Clubhouse, as he, he can Maverick a little hole in the top of that CCTV outside wall, throw a grenade up in there and get that bandit off. So, like I said, you usually see him banned. So I'm interested in see what they do with him and if they regret not banning him.
Yeah, looks like basement's going to be first. Definitely going to be interesting to see where these Valk cams go, I would say. Besides the usual default in the kitchen, underneath the barrel, maybe try to hide one somewhere in bar, and maybe if you think they're going to be doing a top-down clear, put a cam in construction or somewhere else in master or gym, even potentially to gather some of that early round intel. Also interested to see if they're going to be trying to do more of a roam style defense, or if they're going to be more of a turtle style for the basement. Each one's viable to an extent. You just need certain lineups. And going to our Twitter poll earlier today, it looks like our watchers or viewers are believing that Raid's going to be taking this down 72.9% over Swade's 27.1%. Definitely seems like the Raid supporters came out strong on that Twitter poll, and they're rooting for their boys. Be interesting to see if they're right.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to really get an accurate jump on it since we haven't seen Swade play. So I'm interested in see where this goes.
I think that maybe even might have influenced the Twitter poll to an extent, since we haven't seen Swade play a lot. Looks like some early droning going out, top down clear. Seems like a pretty standard take from the attack. Doesn't look like there's any roamers on the top floor, so once they drone that out and see that, it looks like they'll be heading straight down to first floor to start some of that hatch breach and some soft destruction on kitchen.
So you see them already starting to get that top-down work, try to get that rotate out of church and trench there. Starting to see some drone work going down, trying to make sure all the flanks and rotations are covered. Valkyrie's got some sneaky cameras there. I didn't even see her throw that one out there in blue bar and blue Blue hallway there at Blue Hatch.
It looks like the bar cam hasn't been seen either, so if they go for a church moto take, that might be huge when it comes to the late round push. Looks like Zoth might be getting into an early engagement here. No damage landed on either side. Sounds like Thermite's going to be opening up potentially the kitchen hatch. Didn't really get to see where that one went off at. Jaeger taking some damage from what looks like Secret. Nitro cell gone. No damage done. No picks on the attacker side. Getting down to about a minute. Looks like we're going to get some sight droning done. Oh, the frag actually downs the Kaid. That was a really well-placed frag grenade from Sledge at the bottom of main stairs.
But unfortunately, he doesn't quite know that Kaid is down. With that being said, Jaeger gets picked off there in church. Now they're both down. We're going to get that entry into there from Moto. As there it goes. Kaid gets
Swade
taken
answers
out.
back. Smoke answers back with a 2K of his own, too.
The plant has gone down successfully there in the doorway of Church and Moto. Valkyrie gets picked contesting as they're getting their setup here, and no shots were landed by Maestro, and Maverick gets the kill to take it 1-0 for Swade.
It was a really nice clear from Swade. Taking top down, seeing that there was no roamers on top, taking that first floor control quick, getting the Moto hatch open, getting the church wall open, and getting those early picks.
You know, we were talking before the match started that it's a very defensive-friendly map, and Swade must have heard that and said, look, we're going to jump out here real quick, real fast, and show you that people can attack it too.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, if they make the quick adaptation, something they could look to do is maybe have someone like the Valkyrie or the Jaeger maybe play on, you know, that main stairs landing and take that bar intel from that Valkyrie cam and potentially try to look for an early pick.
It looks like the defense here for Raid has came with the same setup as before, and they are defending the same map as before. Usually you kind of 50-50. Most teams you see, they'll lose a map, they'll lose a OBJ, they'll switch up, go a different place. Some people like to run it 2 or 3 times in a row, maybe tweak little things they didn't think worked right before. But interested to see if they change up anything, different holds, different positioning to see if it works out better for them this round. But it looks like Valkyrie's using some of the same cam spots, as I don't believe any of them were shot out in the previous round, but they do have an IQ, so I do see some of those Valkyrie cams being taken down.
Looks like she changed that Valk cam from Blue Tunnel to Garage, maybe get some more of that earlier intel, see if they're going to be pushing that a little bit more aggressively. At this point, with the way that the attacker meta is going, do you think the IQ is being brought for the Valkyrie or being brought for the G8?
It's probably 50-50 of both. Definitely both viable options.
Looks like they went straight for first floor control this time, knowing that last round Raid did no roaming upstairs, so it looks like they got that control above site very early on. With about 45 seconds into the round, Sophia, not knowing that Valkyrie has already fallen back.
Almost guarantee you they had some pre-placed drones upstairs. That way they already cleared that out and knew there was no roamers up there. So I didn't see them do anything to clear out the up top, but they already knew that they weren't up top, it seems like to me. So now they already got top floor presence. They're now slowly working their way down and pinching out this OBJ.
Getting a stock hatch. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It seems to me that they are kind of doing the same attack, opening up top, working from top down, getting some pressure into blue. They're same steps down the steps. Down the ladder, excuse me. It's kind of seemed to be the similar push, but why switch up something when it worked perfectly fine the last time?
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you're attacking, if it worked the first time, do it the same way. See if the defense makes any adaptations.
See Sophia laying some shots down blue there. Sophia knows that he is back there behind that, but can't quite get a clean shot on him. as she's pressuring from ladder and from blue stairs. See IQ making her way up towards smoke there on blue stairs. But the quick switch over to Kaid. Thermite's throwing the plant down in the same place they did before, and the defensive team seems to be kind of weary to it as Swade picks off 2 quick kills there with kind of clueless looking the other way, and Maestro falls here again. Swade with another attack round. Flawless. Nobody took a casualty on Swade in that round. It was complete flawless take. No issues. They won every gunfight. They are looking great so far this evening.
Yeah, honestly, I think a big part of that site push like that just came from the drone work. They saw no one was really holding an angle on the Moto door. Thermite took the opportunity on that and got the pick and made sure, Church was clear and went for the plant. Had his guys pushing in from blue to cover him from the guy behind generator, and you saw the IQ get the pick on the Jaeger as he was trying to peek to the armory door to see into Church. And I mean, it was just a really well executed push. Really good job setting up the pinches from the attackers.
Absolutely. As you see here, they finally switched up and realized we are not doing well on this room. Let's switch it up and go CCTV. You see that Raid brings the same setup they did before for downstairs and basement, along with Swade bringing the same set of attackers. As we all know, you generally don't stray too far away from your set operator you run. So I don't see really much switches coming up here there, especially for Swade. They've been completely dominant with the 5 stack that they have been going in these rounds with. So I look forward to seeing them continue to be as dominant as they have been. You see Valkyrie coming through for some cameras, for a camera outside there.
Oh, the smokestack camera. I like that camera. You can't see anything out of it, but you can still ping people through it, and it's hard. It's very hard to see as an attacker if you're not looking directly at it. Yeah, the smoke from that vent blocks it, but you can still get pings off it, so that way your teammates can get that intel.
I wonder if they picked up on the fact that she was lobbing one out there, and I wonder if they'll have the IQ over there looking for that. And it looks like IQ is there, but she does not have her gadget out, as we don't know entirely if she has found it yet, but she wasn't actively trying to find it. We do know that.
Looks like Maverick's waiting on the queue to start opening up the CC wall. There he goes. Interesting. He's going for the right side of the wall. Usually you see the left side so that we can get that angle on the garage window. But right side it is. It's interesting.
Well, I know there's not going to be any bandit tricking going on here. I mean, you can Kai trick. It is one of the more difficult things to do, in my opinion. Maybe that's why I'm in Western Conference. But that being said, I'm looking forward to see here as he did the Maverick trick, break away that reinforcement so that Ash, or in this case Zofia, can come through and break a soft wall.
So he got it done pretty efficiently too. Took him about 30-35 seconds to get that wall open. You see Zofia there already ready to get the wall open, so they have their sight lines into sight. And then it also looks like they're going for more of a split push. Seems like kind of the meta way to attack the CC site. You saw Sledge opening up the wall above. Ooh, nice early pick. Nice early pick from below, even though Valkyrie had already wasted the C4. So her utility was already gone, and she still got the cameras up as long as IQ didn't find any, so that intel can still be there for the late round.
I see Swade looking here to get that construction wall open up the a good view into the room from master bedroom. So far you have a 3v5 as IQ gets a pick there from the window. Another pick onto garage balcony there on Cade. So it is currently a 2v5 in favor of Swade as shots are missed by smoke.
Yep, and it looks like Swade already has full control of the site. Oh, that's a good pick. Nope, there it goes. Just a flurry of kills, and Swade comes out on top.
I think Swade lost a total of 1 person. 2 bullets in the past 2 rounds.
I think it might be 2.
Swade is looking super strong early here on Clubhouse on attack of all places. They're showing that we may have missed a few weeks, but we are strong, we are ready, and we're going to show you that we have what it takes.
Yeah, definitely looks like Swade's coming out early, swinging, um, establishing some dominance early. And it definitely puts a mental aspect into it too. When you're dominating on the attacking side of what would be considered more of a defender favored map, it definitely stresses out the defending team. Makes them think, if we can't defend the basement, if we can't defend CC, the two what would probably be considered the most defensible sites on this map. It really worries you, about what you're going to be able to do to adjust and fix, or if you kind of just take it in stride and stick to your setups. See if you can start winning your ones a little bit better, maybe get some early picks. Those entry, those first gunfights are always really important to how a round plays out. And so far, I believe Swade has taken every initial gunfight and won. So it definitely sets the tone early in the round.
Absolutely. So you see things on both sides have not been switched up here. They're bringing the same set of 5 on both sides. IQ with a nice little camera. Not IQ. I keep doing that. Valkyrie with a nice camera there into the refrigerator, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm talking about. I've never seen a camera there before, so that's a little slick.
It's definitely a good cam placement. If the attackers aren't ready for it, to see if they're going to be trying to pressure from below. But with that Maverick, they really shouldn't be trying to push below too hard unless they know that there's roamers that they're trying to push out. You really don't need to go below to try to get utility off the wall. So it's a good cam for some intel, but for the way that it looks like the attack has pushed this last round and the way they're going to push it again this round, it doesn't seem like it might get them a lot.
No, Raid needs to figure some things out here and switch some things up, because not only is Swade just running and doing what they want, they're also losing all these gunfights. Not only that, but they're getting shot from places they're not even looking. And I don't see how that happens with a Maestro and a Valk, that you don't know that people are pushing from these other rooms close to you.
Yeah, you do have to question to an extent. If they have, a dedicated anchor, someone that's going to be on the cams for the first minute and a half of the round, try to gather the intel, see where the attackers are pushing from, or if they're all just kind of, on site holding angles, waiting to see where they're going to be coming from. That early round intel is always super important. As you can see, the Maestro's on his Evil Eye right now, and there's an early pick on the side of Raid. You could potentially see this round swing out different.
Hopefully so. You saw Jaeger there land some shots onto Thermite, which is a big pick and a big take off of Swade's side of things. As they're kind of now, since they lost Thermite, they're switching up their push, and they can't get in through construction wall there anymore. So we might as well switch things up here. See Sophia still hanging off of the balcony after the hole she's blown in, taking shots into garage. Nothing landing. I'm not sure if she entirely knows that Smoke is playing that doorway there. Look for Smoke to get a quick little pop shot with that SMG-11.
Definitely looks like they're opening up the bottom garage, maybe trying to get some garage pressure, and then pinch in from CC wall and garage rafters to try to take sight. But with 40 seconds left, this could be hard. And there's a pick on the IQ, onto the IQ from the Maestro. Looks like Sledge claps back, and Kaid answers, and it looks like the defenders take their first round.
So it looks like they kind of switched things up there, did a little different hold that time, and finally got a round to go in their favor. But now they're stuck between going back down to basement, where neither one of those rounds were close, or switching and going back upstairs. But it looks like, as I say that, they have decided to give up on basement, at least for this round, and swing it back up to Gym Bedroom.
Yeah, Gym Bedroom's a good site, and it looks like they're bringing the castle probably to deny the gym window to get the utility off the jacuzzi wall, because the jacuzzi-sided push is usually the standard take for this site. With the Kaid, it's kind of interesting to see how they're going to play it, if he's going to try to trick it, or if they're just going to castle off, try to burn some utility and waste as much time as possible with that game. That last round, though, definitely that first pick coming out on the side of Raid onto the Thermite was huge. I definitely would have to say that was the biggest impact of that round, getting rid of that hard breacher so they can open up construction wall and do that pinch style take from CC wall to construction. Definitely helped the defenders win their first round. And it looks like they're going to be doing a hold on to cash. Pretty standard defensive setup. Hopefully they can hold out and waste a good amount of time.
Yeah, like I stated before, the Mav, not banning Mav, has really kind of came back to haunt them a little bit. You know, as everybody knows, Mav's an insta-ban on this map for obvious reasons. And it's really coming back to bite them in the butt. They're really, like I said, that was the one ban that, before all else, that should have been banned. As you see, they're getting some drone presence down, watching that red stair rotate down. And now they're making their way back up to CCTV wall. Getting some garage presence here, as they've already gotten that wall open into CCTV, as they are starting to make their push over into cash room to start pushing into the junior bedroom. So it looks like they're doing more of a horizontal push here. At least 3 on this side of the map, pushing in from CCTV. Make that 4, looking into construction window. I'm sure if they're real sure. I don't see a drone in that room, but they don't know that Jaeger is there holding that angle right now.
It looks like Zofia's just playing that construction window, try to get the picks on the rotate back out. And if this Castle pushes out any more to expose himself, this might be the end of his life. He's got the Kaid though and Laji to cover it, and potentially pick up the refrag if he gets picked.
As he knows that Zofia is out that window, grenade comes in and takes him out. He turned around and looked, and there was pretty much the whole team of Swade staring right at him. Capital falls into Laji and falls to Kai-E. I don't know if he just didn't know he was there or was just trying to YOLO it, but it did not turn out in Force's favor. So, like I stated before, it looks like they're doing a whole horizontal push from over in cash through construction. And now you see Zofia putting some pressure there on the bedroom window. But Smoke was holding tight behind that shield and bathroom. As now Ash has made her way into Laji. Shots are raining. Shots are dropping. Cade gets dropped with a sweet shot from Zyron. As quick Raid drops 3 of Swade back to back to back. The kill feed is lit, and Raid takes round number 5 to bring it 3-2.
Looks like Raid's adaption potentially is just meeting the pressure when Swade starts to look for their sight execute, and it seems to have worked out the last 2 rounds for him. So, you know, going down to Church Arsenal, maybe if they try the same tactic, it could work. You know, meeting aggression with aggression definitely can pay out in your favor as long as your shots are hitting.
Absolutely. So this one is going to be, you know, a really important hold for them. If they can bring it 3-3 here, you know, it's pretty much back at being 0-0. But with that being said, Swade, who looked so dominant early, is then going to go to defense for the swap, obviously. But how's their push going to be on an attack? How's Swade's defense going to be?
It's definitely a big question mark. If Swade can do some staunch holds, then yeah, I mean, like we said before, and like we keep saying, Clubhouse is a defender-sided map. If they have strong defenses and can stop Raid from their pushes when they go to the side switch, it could be over pretty quick on a 3-3 split potentially, or 4-2, especially if you're going 4-2 on the attacking house to start.
That's an interesting place for one of Kaid's cameras, drone, whatever you want to call them. I'm sure it's
bubbles. Everyone's got different terms for them.
Oh, that was a smooth camera there on the projector and bar. Another one I haven't seen yet, or if I have, I didn't see it and I was getting spotted for it and complaining about it. So again, same 5 for both sides. And it looks like they are going to do the same push they did before. You're going to see one down blue, pushing the guy behind generator there, down blue stairs. One dropping ladder. I would hope they switch it up just a little bit, as it kind of looks like Raid has set up their defense for that push.
Sledge is entering from Jacuzzi Wall, just there in case to catch any rotates from that drone. If anyone's playing upstairs, which looks like all 5 are on site or near site again. You know, it's definitely a viable hold on defense, but you know, it never hurts to send at least 1 to 2 people upstairs to potentially waste some time. You know, you can get caught out as a defender, but if you can waste a lot of time, you know, as a roamer, it definitely you know, can give your team some benefit.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of their issue on this particular OBJ is that they have no upstairs presence at all. They're all turtled in church or an armory over there, and you know, they get them drones in. They know they're in there. Then they have their rotate drones set up for the flanks, and you know, they got their whole top floor presence. They ain't got to worry about nothing. They can drone out, get intel, and make the pushes accordingly. So I would have liked to have seen some top floor presence here by Raid. But I'm interested in seeing how this works out for them.
Raid being more aware of the drones on site, I feel like that's partly one of the issues that got them on their basement defenses, is seemed like they were letting Swade gather all the intel they wanted for free. They had multiple drones on site their first 2 rounds, and led to some pretty easy picks for the attackers to take control of site and go for that diffuser plant.
As it looked like shots were landing there, but no one took any damage. Those outlines really throw you off sometimes.
Yeah, it looked like the Valkyrie was hiding behind the ammo crates, and it probably just saved her life because those pings coming out. She was standing up, that would have been the end of her. Looks like Jaeger getting the first pick onto the Maverick. Thermite answering back onto the Jaeger. Maestro swinging, and Thermite getting a second pick. Valkyrie getting the pick on the IQ. There's a lot of engagements going on right now. And Smoke picking up the Zofia. So we're into a 2v2. Thermite is baiting the plant, trying to see if he could get some sound cues to know where these defenders are at. Sledge with a nice shot onto that Smoke and onto the Kaid. And it looks like the attackers of Swade close it out on a 4-2 split.
Yeah, it's really impressive seeing them take that way on attack for themselves. So Raid's really going to have to, you know, copy Swade's performance there. But now the ball is, you know, is in Swade's court with it being such a defensive heavy map.
You saw Nico swap off the Jaeger to the Pulse. Is there potential like it's 6 back to the Jaeger, or yep, there it goes. The Wamai and the Jaeger are both coming out for the CC cache to just make it a little bit harder to get your utility into sight, your throwables into sight, like your stuns, your nades. It's gonna be very challenging to burn all that utility, especially if Wamai's up in the late round.
So you see here for Raid, their 5 going into battle are a little bit different than what Swade's were, as they've opted to bring in Habana and a Buck. And as for Swade, theirs is very eerily similar, minus a mute instead of a smoke, and Wame entering the battlefield. As previously stated, you know, Wame and Jaeger together are just near impossible to get anything into room. Flashbangs, smokes, nades.
Yeah, it's pretty much insufferable.
There's just so much utility between them. The 3 ADSs for Jaeger gets 2 apiece, and then I'm not 100% sure on how many Wamai gets.
Wamai gets 5 if he stays up the entire round, and on top of that, Wamai has the deployable shield too, which is another piece of utility that has to have something come out, some sort of soft breach to come out and destroy it. So it's definitely bothersome, and it looks like Jaeger's going to go for an early peek, and the Buck actually gets the early pick onto the Maestro from below in stock. That's huge early, making sure Maestro cannot rotate those Evil Eyes. If he did not rotate them earlier, he is in a bad spot with intel.
Absolutely, but luckily the cameras will still be there, so but can't move too much, but it does give another option for you know, for being able to see where these attackers are pushing from. As it looks here, a skin has an illegal skin is in play. on Playday 5. So Raid, who is the culprit, will lose the round. The round will be given to Swade. So when we come back from this rehost, you will see it a 5-2 in favor of Swade.
Yeah, that is definitely not how you want that to go. That's really unfortunate. Every round matters immensely on match days because there's no overtime in best of ones. So if you want to try to get that ever so valuable point or points, you just dug yourself into a deeper hole by coming back into the match on a 5-2 round count.
Absolutely. So while we get this rehost all sorted out and everything put back together as once was, we will kick it over to a slight commercial-like music and background, and we will be back shortly.
How we used to run against the morning sun. There is a place where I wanna go, where it all started a long time ago. I remember the days when it all comes back to me. Every time I go to sleep, you're lying next to me. 'Cause we are together now. 'Cause we are together now. Nothing can bring us down. 'Cause we are together now. Not even time to stop us now. 'Cause we are forever young. 'Cause we are together now. Nothing can bring us down. 'Cause we are together now. 'Cause we are together now. Nothing can bring us down. 'Cause we are together now. Not even time to stop us now. 'Cause we are forever young.
I don't wanna fight it. It's time to let it go. It's time to lose your inhibition. Developing a blind ambition. If you got a match, just go ahead and light it. I wanna see where this is going. We're done with playing games, not knowing, yeah. We've nothing to lose. We lost it that night. We're feeling alright. There's no need to choose. Don't make up your mind. We're feeling alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna do it like this. Gonna do it like that. Everybody's on that. Gonna do it like this. Yeah, we never look back. Oh, got the party's on tap. Getting rowdy on it. Getting cloudy on it. Got me on the right track. Yeah, you got me on it. Gonna do it like this, 'cause that's the way we want it.
Welcome back, as we have gotten both teams loaded back into the lobby. Hopefully during that time of rehost, they all went through and checked every operator they own. and make sure all those uniforms are off. Being Playday number 5, you would have thought this wouldn't be something that would continue to happen. Understand there might be some operators you don't play all that often, and then all of a sudden you're asked to play, and then boom, crap, I didn't check that guy. But I mean, might as well go through it and just play ranked without any skins on. It's not that big of a deal. But that's just me. People like their skins. People like spending money on a game. So I mean, I understand. Can't blame them to an extent, but rules are rules. So you'll see here, like stated before, we went to break, that round was forfeited and given to Swade for the breaking of said rule. So now that digs Raid into a bigger hole here for their attack. Terrible time for that to happen for them. And like I said, it just puts them in a deeper hole here. So interested in seeing if they're able to crawl out of said hole. So you see here, Goyle being brought English to the game today. Goyle, we all know his shields are pesky. They're annoying. You can't tell from the front whether it's a regular shield or one of his. So it really puts a little brake, a little e-brake on your push, because you don't really know if you want to get close to that thing or not. Might blow up. Might get hot real quick. You don't know. You see on defense, it's a pretty similar setup minus the Goyo being brought in on this round. The attack side of Raid, similar to what they ran before, with the Buck and Habana differing from Swade's.
Looks like he's got the Goyo shield set up on the kitchen drop, so if someone's playing back armory or by the shelf covered in guns called AK, they could get that nice Goyo pop and potentially kill the planter, or just have him caught out, a little bit of panic, and potentially a free pick off of it. So we're getting into the round here. Looks like the attackers are looking to take early garage control. And that's a team kill coming out from the Zofia onto the Buck. Was he potentially wearing the wrong skin again? Couldn't see.
Probably. That's probably why he left the game too, to go take it off.
That would be the assumption. And it looks like Zofia and Jaeger are going to be meeting each other. One on top rafter, one down by lounge. Doesn't look like Zofia is being droned in on her entry either, so she's just going to be face checking everything as she goes through top floor, which could lead to some unfavorable engagements for herself as she begins to drone herself out, probably looking for the location of that Jaeger. Looks like Raid has decent control. They have top cleared. They're starting to work on hatches on the first floor. Sophia's made her way into secret and holding the generator angle, which is very typical for defenders to be playing behind. Operators like Jaeger, Wamai, maybe even a smoke. Sounds like a potential impact trick onto the kitchen hatch. That could be huge if whoever that was, potentially Goyo, getting those Habana pellets off of the hatch and wasting even more time to get that hatch open. And that's exactly what it was, as Habana burns her last set of X-Kairos onto the kitchen hatch. She's looking to wait to see if she can catch someone trying to impact trick on it. Doesn't look like anyone's there to get him this time, so the hatch should be opened. We're getting down to the last 45 seconds of the round. It doesn't seem like the attackers have made much more leeway into sight as Zofia drops down into oil pit and IQ starts to slowly walk her way in from blue stairs. And that's a good pinch coming out from Zofia as she picks up a double kill onto the Goyo while shooting, and Mai picks up the refrag, IQ picks up that refrag, and IQ just pushes into sight and grabs the smoke as well. It's down to a 3v1. Swade left alone, picks up one nice kill. If he can grab this Habana, With such little time left, honestly, all he has to do is just wait out. Don't let him plant. As Thermite's planting the diffuser down in Armory, it's now post-plant situation. Habana's holding main stairs double door. If she can win this engagement, it's going to look good for Raid. And she does. She cleans it up. That's an attacker win. Raid taking a round.
For some reason, everybody does it, but no one ever expects to come around the corner and someone be prone. You see it happen all the time. You die to it all the time. But when you're in that situation and every click's like, maybe they're prone. Because a lot of times they are, but you always die to it. It's one of those things. It frustrates the heck out of me. Like, I should have known he was prone. But, you know, it is what it is. But you see Swade coming through with an attack round there. Busting through. Showing that we have what it takes to get our shovels out and put the dirt back in the hole we dug and get back on top and try to take this home for them and get them a nice 3 points.
Yeah, that was a really well set up pinch between the Zofia and the IQ pushing through blue together, coming in together on that generator. And then Zofia also picking up that potential double kill. I mean, not potential, but double kill to the Goyo. Looked like maybe even a wall bang on that, just spraying through. Maybe she's stalling through some holes with really nice pickups, especially when they come to your site engagements like that.
Or maybe that gun turned into the Vandal from Valorant. And the bullet spray just, you know, turned into that. So you see again, they opt not to bring the Goyle this time and switch back to Kaid. The attack here is similar to what it was before. Hopefully you don't see Morocco go down to a TK. And he got his uniform off. After the rehost for uniforms, he came back and still had the uniform. Okay. So you see Smoke going ahead, setting up that impact trick there to try to keep the Kairos off of that kitchen hatch. And you try to see the same kind of push coming in from Raid here. So let's see if it is as successful this time as it was last round.
Seems like Zofia and Buck entering through the cache side. Doesn't seem like there's a drone in front of him either. It could be potentially dangerous, but it doesn't look like there's a heavy roam setup from the side of Swade. If there's pre-placed drones on the top floor, they know that. They're just making their rounds through, getting ready to push down to the first floor. Drone spotting out the Evil Eye in kitchen. Definitely help make sure that those X-Kairos stay on as long as they don't get impact tricked again. That's half of Zofia's HP gone, trying to get the Kaid off of the dirt walls. That's incredibly unfortunate.
Feels bad, man. As
And that's Maestro down from the buck at the bottom of main. He cleared a lot of ground very quick. And that's kitchen hatch open as well. He may not be safe for a revive. Looks like Buck just doing some normal, you know, rearrangement of the floor into kitchen. Try to push some of those players out of back armory to make the push into site a little bit easier. And Zofia picking up a kill onto Jaeger from, it looks like the top of Oil Pit. It's an interesting angle. And IQ at the bottom of Secret Stairs again. It looks like they're setting up for pretty much the same take they did last round. And again, like we said, on Swade's attacking side, if it works, why change it? And Habana's actually into Moto. Curious if the church players know that, because it looks like Kaid's still focused on the blue tunnel right now. She could potentially get a huge pick, especially coming down to the last 35 seconds of the round. And that's Zofia with a nice pre-fire onto the Wamai as he peeks over the shield. Smoke is now stuck in dirt tunnel. Coming down to the last 25 seconds. Thermite getting the pick onto the Kaid. And just another flurry of kills from the attackers and a flawless round at that. It looks like Clubhouse might be an attacker-sided map today.
Yeah, Raid showing that Swade, I can do what you do, but better. So right now, that's kind of looking the same on both sides. They've had flawless rounds. They've won every gunfight they've been in. Seems like this was literally what we were just saying a few rounds ago in partakes of Swade. So Raid's really coming back strong here. They're, it's quite impressive seeing how they've kind of just did a complete 180. Lost pretty drastically on the side that you generally go up 4-2 on, or 3-3 on, 5-1, etc. But now they're making this an attacker map, which you don't see very often. So the operators for both sides are eerily similar, especially for Raid, the same set of 5. Swade has opted to bring Doc in as last round. There were several of them that were low on health that really couldn't afford to get in gunfights, but obviously you have no option. So they're bringing that Doc in to try to give that the extra little boost. You win a gunfight, get brought down to 20. It's all right, I got you. Almost full health again.
And ACOG never hurts to hold garage, especially when you're trying to fight people that are outside of the garage door.
Absolutely
or even
not.
potentially opening up the soft breach from lounge onto those garage walls. Definitely helps to have that that scope to help you with those long range engagements. Definitely not a bad pick to be holding rafters with, if that's where he plays. So the attacker's out on the board now. Looks like they're all spawned, not all, but looks like 3 spawned on the warehouse side, potentially looking for a CC wall take. And that is a Jaeger roaming on the side of Strip Club. Could be interesting if he gets some good intel from his teammates to come up for a late flank. If Raid decides to do a split-sided push, that's the intel on the Jaeger. And he retreats down into basement. Buck on that nice rappel angle onto the kitchen hallway, just to make sure he cannot rotate back up. And Sophia at the top of secret stairs to hold off all of his pinches. I believe the Jaeger knows that he's stuck right now and does not have a lot of opportunity to make it out of his position alive. Looks like Buck's in stock doing some soft destruction from below. Move some of those defenders around on the site. Maybe make them a little uncomfortable. Get them in some awkward positions. Make them take some awkward gunfights later in the round maybe. Still a lot of droning to be done about halfway into the round now. And no walls have been opened yet. Be interesting to see what Raid is planning on doing. They left a default cam up on the jacuzzi side, and those operators on the roof get pinged. Jaeger's still just sitting there waiting to see what his options are. And this could potentially be... Oh, he sees the Maestro, he takes the gunfight, takes some damage. Maestro not much worse for wear after that one. Looks like they're still trying to play those vertical angles. Sounds like construction wall just got opened. No, they just opened up logistics wall. That's a pick from Jaeger onto the IQ, and Doc taking out the Buck. This might go to the side of the defenders, especially with Doc still holding this long angle. Thermite taking out the Jaeger as he rotates back up. And getting that construction wall open. This could potentially be the round for the attackers. That Habana out there on that CC window, though, could be the game changer. Down to 22 seconds. Looks like Sophia's just going to push her way right into sight, knowing the Doc's there. Looked like Habana tried to push deep into sight, and Kaid gets that pick. Sophia getting the pick onto the Maestro and the Kaid, but the mute comes in, gets the knife onto the Thermite, and it goes down to time. The defenders take down CCTV site with a cheeky little knife kill on the defuse planter. Oh, no, it did go down to the last frag. That mute came in and made a nice play getting that diffuser and the Sophia to finish that round out. Looks like Swade is now on match point, going to be going to gym bedroom side. Don't see a castle like Raid was bringing. Be interesting to see how the defense will hold this site.
Absolutely. So you kind of see here that neither team is really breaking away from their set of operators. They've been running these about the same the whole match on both sides. You do see a little bit. He did see a little switch up of Goyo earlier. Didn't entirely work out. So now you've seen Kai be brought both times. Since then, I'm interested in seeing. We haven't seen Swade defend this part of the map yet. So I'm interested in seeing how they set it up. It looks like it's going to be eerily similar to how a lot of people hold it. With taking over cash there, reinforcing it. You would have thought to have seen a castle. You usually see a castle played here. I would rather, you should have seen, maybe instead of Kaid or something for cash and maybe a bandit or something in that nature. But nevertheless, it's still the same hold. They probably break out the wall there and Logi for a rotating between construction and logistics. Other than that, you see some drone work going out here, and ready to see how Raid bounces back here on match point.
Curious to see if this IQ is going to be able to catch that Electro Claw. Kaid actually went downstairs into the first floor bathroom and threw an Electro Claw onto the rafters to electrify Jacuzzi wall. If they do not know about that spot for the Electro Claw, that could be a huge hindrance onto the side of Raid. Buck entering from below into stock. He could potentially push some of these defenders out of cash once he starts his soft destruction. That's a good pick from the Zofia onto the Jaeger. Not sure where that Jaeger got caught out from. Looks like on site. She shot through the garage wall, and he was holding an angle from construction door onto the cash door, and Zofia just heads up gunfight. Takes down the first of the defenders. And that's also a pick from the IQ onto the Wamai as he was trying to rotate out of cash with the wall being open. Maestro now stuck in a rock and a hard place. He goes down to the IQ as well. That's a double kill for Blessed on the round. Kaid getting droned out in logistics. I believe there is a rotate onto that wall with a reinforcement next to it. But with that intel there, he could be in a hard spot. And it looks like the Habana got down. I'm not sure how that happened. Kaid missing his shots onto the Buck as he just sprints into sight from the main stairs. And the attackers take the round flawless. That was a nice aggressive push from the Buck to just take control of the site, and with the man count advantage and seeing that no one was really in his direct path to take over the site. And it looks like this could potentially be a draw.
Yeah, that was a great push there by Raid. They kind of stepped up to where they needed to be there and came back from, a pretty decisive hold there for Swade, and they came back with a flawless round. You can tell they want it, they're fighting, and it all comes down to this. It's either going to be a win for Swade or it's going to end in a draw. So buckle up and let's see where this goes.
Swade going back to Jim Bedrew this time and bringing the castle, maybe seeing some of the mistakes that were made without the utility of those barricades. And gonna fix it. Maybe waste a little bit more time. That IQ on that construction window, getting that 2K from catching the defenders rotating out of the cash room into construction was a big factor in that round, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I'd said before when that round first started and they didn't have a castle. You hate to see it. It's a big part of that hold there into cash, and they kind of may or may not have been a lot of the reason why they went down to a flawless round. But again, they're going for the same kind of setup here, minus again the castle, getting the walls reinforced into cash, And you'll see that Castle go up on Cash Door. Looking for some early frags there. That'd been nutty if he'd been able to pull off a shot through that.
Yeah, that's always a, one of those clip that kind of moments when you get shots through a wall right out of spawn.
Absolutely.
It looks like this Castle could actually swing this around in the favor of defense. If you look at the side of the attackers, they only have Zofia as the viable option to get rid of those Castle barricades without punching them. IQ no breaches, Habana no breaches. Unfortunately, Buck losing his frag grenades not that long ago, so he cannot help opening up those Castle barricades besides the nice punches into them. And it looks like there's no one going to be trying to open up the construction window as of yet. And that was definitely a big factor into the last round. Maestro with a nice little impact trick onto the wall from the red stairs into Cash. Going to be delaying a little bit more time. Buck still rearranging the floor from below. Habana opening up front side Cash while Thermite's going to open up Red Hall again. Maestro using that second impact to make sure that they couldn't open up a fully crouchable hole into Cash wall, but it looks like Habana gets it open anyways. Potentially a metal bar in the middle. Can't fully tell right there. Maestro getting a nice pick onto the Thermite as he tries to swing.
That's
and a double for the
3K
from Maestro. Wow.
3K and Diffuser is down on red.
Castle with a nice pick on the IQ from the window as well. It's a 1v5 now, all down to the Buck of Morocco. Let's see if he can at least maybe pick up some impactless frags. That's the first one. Second one for him. Double kill now. Let's see if he can find any more. He's still got a minute into the round. He could take some time. See if there's anyone he can find, knowing the Castle's in Logi. Taking a prone angle onto this. Maybe not the ideal way to take that gunfight. Pushing straight for the site door. Castle breaking the barricade into Jim. He heard that sound cue and now he's looking for the rotate. Smoke burning some more time, and that's it right there. Swade win on a 7-5.
Yeah, they really got that nipped in the bud, regathered, and came back strong that last round to get the W. Overall, it was a great game. It was great it was a great back and forth. It was a real slugfest. So it was really good. Like I said, I thought it would out the gate. I was excited to see how Swade would perform tonight, and they brought it. It was a great game through and through.
Very good game, and like I said before, kind of surprising that Clubhouse they favored the attackers tonight. You don't see that happen too often.